Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto Kryptonian bloodline Naruto x Supergirl. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by WILLIEF21 and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Naruto Uzumaki. Haruka called out. Today was the day of the graduation exam for his students. Naruto walked down the stairs of his classroom, ready to pass his exam. Naruto was wearing blue jeans and an ever-changing combination of a red jacket and a blue shirt, which could be a blue jacket and red shirt on different days. These were his favorite colors. He also wore a mesh shirt underneath for those times that his jacket was open. He planned to wear a different outfit when he became a ninja though. He knew that his favorite colors weren't good for the career of a ninja if they were as bright as he wore them. He planned to wear navy blue jeans, dark red and navy blue boots, a mesh shirt, and a dark red and navy blue jacket. He was still debating on his headband's cloth, but he thought that leaving it the standard color would be better. Upon entering the room, Naruto smiled at his two teachers, Mizuki and Haruka. They were nice at times, but could be hard on you if they really wanted you to get better. Naruto never saw that side of them because he did good in all subjects. Naruto had high genin level chakra reserves and perfect control of that ever since he started the academy. That eventually became mid to high chunin level reserves with perfect control. He picked up the written stuff rather easily. His kunai and shuriken throwing was always on point. Naruto could easily perform the substitution, transformation, and clone jutsu. Alright Naruto. You did good on the other parts of the graduation exam. All you have to do now is the 3 jutsu that we've been teaching you guys since you started. Haruka said. Naruto used a substitution and replaced himself with a log in the corner of the room. Naruto then transformed into an exact copy of the 3rd Hokage. Naruto then proceeded to create 5 clones. Congratulations Naruto. You've passed the exam and now you're a genin of Konoha. Mizuki said as he threw Naruto a headband. Naruto walked out and sat with the rest of his class. He didn't have too long to wait because the only person after him was Ino Yamanaka. After her successful test, Haruka and Mizuki released them and told them to get their ninja ID picture taken before returning at 11 tomorrow for team placement. After that announcement, Naruto headed to the Hokage Tower for 2 reasons. First, to get an explanation on the weird things that he has been able to do since a young age and to get some money for his new attire. Naruto, in the blink of an eye, sped across the village and appeared in front of the Hokage's door. He knocked and waited for the approval of his enter. Naruto entered to see the 3rd Hokage sitting behind his desk smiling. "Hey old man." Naruto said as he entered. "Hello Naruto." Sarutobi said as he reached into his desk and threw Naruto a scroll which he caught easily. Naruto sat on the couch and unsealed what was in the scroll. It was a blood seal. Sarutobi had taught Naruto about storage scrolls and blood seals ever since Naruto first came to him about his abilities. Sarutobi tried to open the scroll beforehand, not noticing that it had a blood seal, and received a note specifically for him. It said to allow Naruto to open the scroll when he becomes a genin so that he can learn about his heritage and the night of his birth. Naruto received a letter. "Dear Naruto. This is Kushina Uzumaki. If you're reading this, I must not have survived. I want you to first know that your father, Minato Namikaze, and I both loved you with all our hearts. The night of your birth a masked man came and removed the Kyuubi from the seal on my stomach. I was what is known as a Jinchuriki. When a female Jinchuriki gets pregnant, the seal that holds the tailed beast weakens. The masked man took advantage of that and freed Kyuubi. Your father fought the masked man while I held off the Kyuubi. After Minato's battle he returned to me. I was weakened so I couldn't seal the Kyuubi. Minato used a jutsu called the Reaper Death Seal to seal Kyuubi inside of you, but because of your DNA it didn't work correctly. As soon as the seal finished, Kyuubi was destroyed by your DNA. Minato didn't know that his genes made it so you couldn't become Jinchuriki at all. The rest of the village don't know the Namikaze origins. Yes, the Namikaze is a clan that is descended from a woman that everyone on the planet, minus a select few friends, knew her as Supergirl. Her true name was Kal-El. She, like her cousin Superman or Clark Kent as his close friends knew him, or Kal-El as she called him, were of a race of people that died out when their planet was destroyed. Her home planet was Krypton. That makes the entire Namikaze clan a clan of aliens. They have all but died out because they wanted to keep their race from dying out. What they didn't know, something I realized later in life, was that even if they reproduced with a human, the child would still be Kryptonian. There is no such thing as a half Kryptonian. Because of their actions they all became sterile. Your father was the last Namikaze born, that makes you the last of the Uzumaki clan and the last of the Kryptonians. I'm not asking you to revive the clan though. I want you to live your life to the fullest and achieve any dreams you have and to find love like your father did with me. A list of your abilities under the yellow sun. Yes, their race gained power from the yellow sun, although he was the last one to actually show the ability to use these powers. You will have the ability of flight, superhuman speed, superhuman strength, superhuman durability, meaning you can be hit with any element like fire, cutting wind, earth or lightning and not feel it, X-ray vision, heat vision, superhuman breath which can be icy, enhanced senses, superhuman intelligence, superhuman vision, and eidetic memory. I don't know what powers you have now, but you will have to work to control those abilities, and when you unlock the others, you'll have practice control of those too. That's all I have to say though. This is goodbye my son. Remember that Minato and I love you and believe in anything you do with our entire being. Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto finished reading the letter and smiled with a few stray tears coming down his face. He took all the information rather well. Sarutobi, who heard Naruto when he read the letter out loud, was shocked. He along with Jiraiya and Kakashi knew that Naruto hadn't become a Jinchuriki and they were lost as to why. They now had their answer. Naruto had alien blood which didn't allow the males of the species to become Jinchuriki. He along with the others were no fools though. They would still treat Naruto the same and continue to be the family that he never had. Do you have any dreams yet, Naruto? Sarutobi asked. Yeah. I'm going to be the greatest Hokage that ever lived and then I'm going to revive my clan. While doing all that I'll protect everyone precious to me. Naruto said with a determination reminiscent of his ancestor's cousin, although neither knew that. I believe that you will do that, Naruto. Here you go. Sarutobi said as he threw Naruto the money he had come for so he could buy the new clothes he wanted. Thanks old man. Naruto said as he speed out of the room. Chapter 2. Naruto wanted to sleep in today, but he remembered that he had to get his ninja ID. He bought the clothes he wanted, but also got a second set that he was just attracted to. It was a black trench coat, black turtleneck, black jeans, and black closed-toe boots. He also got a new forehead protector cloth which was like a headband to cover his blonde hair and a pair of black shades. Naruto woke up later and quickly threw on his clothes. He was excited about his powers that he currently had and would gain in the future. He already had superhuman speed and strength, the enhanced senses, and he figured he had superhuman durability. Naruto knew Iruka was about to enter the classroom, so he sped across the village and got a seat in the back of the class without anyone noticing. Lucky him, a window was left open, so it wouldn't attract attention that the window was ever opened. Hello class. Iruka said as he entered the class with a smile. Iruka gave a short speech about shinobi life and then announced the first 6 teams. Team 7 will be Sasuke Uchiha, Ino Yamanaka, and Naruto Uzumaki under Kakashi Haddock. Team 8 will be Sakura Haruno, Hinata Hyuga, and Kiba Inuzuka under Kurina Yuhi. Team 9 is still in use. Team 10 will be Shikamaru Nara, Shino Aburam, and Choji Akimichi under Asuma Sarutobi. Iruka said. There was a lot of conversation going on and Iruka barely got the last 3 teams out. Quite. You're all dismissed for lunch. Meet back here afterwards to wait for your sensei. Iruka said. Sensei, Naruto isn't here. Ino said. She could care less about Naruto, but she didn't want to get in trouble because he wasn't here. Naruto is in the back, Ino. Iruka said. Everyone turned around to see Naruto in the back wearing something different than what he normally was wearing. Something more ninja-like. See, your boyfriend is here, Ino. Sakura said. She was disappointed that she wasn't on Sasuke's team, but that wouldn't stop her from teasing Ino for being on a team with Naruto. Although Naruto had good ninja skills, most thought of him as useless because there was nothing special about him like the other clan heirs and he wore civilian clothes every day, and Sakura parents are jounin in this story. Whose boyfriend? Ino shouted back. No one had stayed for their argument though. Everyone quickly left the classroom and enjoyed their lunch break. An hour later all students returned to the classroom except Naruto. He had went to Ichiraku Ramen and stayed there. Soon Jounin sensei were entering the room and were getting their students. After 5 minutes only the clan heirs and Sakura was left. Meaning that teams 7, 8 and 10 were still waiting on their sensei. The door opened again to reveal a black-haired woman with red eyes and a black-haired man smoking a cigarette. Team 8, follow me. The woman said as she led her team out. Team 10, let's go. The man said as he walked out and his team followed. Now only Ino and Sasuke was left. Ino was happy to be on the same team with Sasuke and Naruto, but she also didn't want to get in trouble for Naruto not being there. The two both glanced to the back of the room and neither saw Naruto. 3 hours later and neither Naruto or their sensei had shown up. Ino was too busy thinking about how boring her next shift at the shop would be. She had to work after meeting her squad and depending on what happened she probably would be more focused on the start of her ninja career to worry about customers. Sasuke took this as a blessing, but he also wondered where his teammate was. The door then opened and a white-haired man, with his forehead protector covering his left eye and a face mask covering the lower half of his face. "My first impression is that you're all weird," the man said as he poked his head in. Naruto, having heard this last person enter the room, quickly said goodbye to the Ichiraku family and sped into the classroom. Knowing that just appearing wouldn't work, Naruto laid down on the row in the back and faked sleep without the snoring and movement. It's a good thing I know about his heritage and his abilities, or I would have been shocked that I felt his chakra signature enter the room when I knew he was at the ramen stand a moment before, the white-haired man thought. "Are you our sensei?" Ino asked curiously. "Yes, I am. I'm Kakashi Haddock," Kakashi said. "Sensei, I don't know where our other teammate, Naruto, is," Ino said, hoping that her and Sasuke wouldn't get in trouble for this. Some grunts were heard from the back and Sasuke was instantly alert and looking back. Sasuke looked back to see Naruto rubbing his eye and yawning. "Had a nice nap?" Kakashi asked. "Boy did I ever. Are you our sensei?" Naruto asked. "Yes," Kakashi answered simply. "How long have you been back there?" Sasuke asked. "Since halfway through break. I had a quick lunch and returned here and took a nap." "How long was I out?" Naruto asked. 3 hours and 30 minutes. Ino said. "Wow, that was long. Are you just getting here? Why were you so late, sensei?" Naruto asked, ignoring the evident displeasure Ino felt for him at that moment. "I saw an old lady with some heavy bags and I helped her home. Afterwards she made me a meal to thank me and I couldn't refuse," Kakashi said lazily without looking away from his book. "Was that a lie?" Ino asked. She could tell that the story didn't seem right, but she didn't want to accuse her sensei. "Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Now meet me on the roof," Kakashi said as his body flickered away. Team 7 got up and walked to the roof. They were speechless at their sensei's words and lateness. After reaching the roof, they saw Kakashi sitting on the rail and reading his book. "Take a seat. I think it would be good if you guys introduce yourselves. Say your names, likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams. That kind of thing," Kakashi said as he closed his book and placed it inside of his pouch. "Can you give us an example, sensei?" Ino asked. "You really need an example of that? Well, alright. I'm Kakashi Haddock. I have no desire to tell you my likes and dislikes, my dreams for the future. As for my hobbies, I have lots of hobbies," Kakashi said as his student simultaneously thought all we learned was his name. After he motioned for her to continue, Ino started. "I'm Ino Yamanaka. I like flowers and my lazy friends Shika and Choji. I dislike the rivalry that me and Sakura have over this jerk. My hobbies are hanging with my friends and pushing Sakura to make her better. My dream is to become a jounin with my best friend, Sakura, by my side," Ino said. "I thought you and Sakura liked Sasuke," Naruto asked. "She does, but she would never have the courage to go after him if I didn't pretend to like him too. You hear that, Sasuke? Me and you are going to be teammates and hopefully friends with each other and Naruto. That means you can't distance yourself from either of us for any reason," Ino said bossily. Sasuke glanced at her, he was shocked at her words, but didn't show it. "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things and I don't particularly like anything. What I have is not a dream because I will make it a reality. I'm going to restore my clan and kill a certain someone," Sasuke said while his 3 comrades had rather different thoughts. "I wonder if he means me? I could take him though," Naruto thought. "Itachi Uchiha," Kakashi thought. "That boy is in need of a visit with daddy," Ino thought. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes are ramen. I guess all I dislike is vegetables. My hobbies are training and eating ramen. My dream is to be Hokage and to revive my clan," Naruto said. "Clan?" Sasuke and Ino said. "I'm from the Uzumaki clan, who were allied with the Senju and had their own village, as well as another clan that I'm not allowed to speak about until I'm strong enough to defend myself from my father's enemies. I think I'm the last one of both, so I want to revive them. Moreso my father's because I take after them more," Naruto said simply. "If you're from a clan that had their own village, why are you here?" Ino asked. Sasuke was thinking the same thing, but didn't ask. His mother was brought here on the request of an Uzumaki that was married to a Senju, specifically Lady Mito Uzumaki and the first Hokage. She became a Konoha ninja and married a Konoha ninja who was in the academy with her. They died on the day of his birth though," Kakashi filled in. "What about the other clan?" Sasuke asked. "Like he said, he isn't allowed to talk about it. Naruto would have to ask Lord Hokage if it is okay to let you guys in on the secret," Kakashi said. The two noticed Naruto's sadness and decided to not bother him anymore about it. "I guess now would be a bad time to bring this up, but out of the 27 graduates only 9 will become genin. Tomorrow I will hold a test for you guys that has a 66% failure rate. Meet me at training ground 7 at 6. Kakashi said. "Why do we have to have another test, sensei?" Ino asked. The first test was like a preliminary test. It was to see who had the potential to pass this test. Also a word of advice. Don't eat breakfast or you'll puke. Kakashi said as his body flickered away. Ino verbally complained while Sasuke and Naruto had similar thoughts of finally a challenge. Sasuke walked off with Ino heading in the same direction, which led to her family's flower shop. She was nervous about the test, but she would be ready come tomorrow. Naruto smirked as he took to the rooftops. Tomorrow would be very interesting for him. The next day 9 o'clock. Kakashi entered the training ground to see two of his students before the third blurred to a tree behind where the two were sitting. Kakashi, of course, didn't see it but just assumed because Naruto wasn't with them before he made himself known. "Ready for the test?" Kakashi said as he neared them. "Sensei, Naruto never showed up." Ino said she didn't want to be a snitch but he was supposed to be here and he wasn't. She caught on to Kakashi being late all the time from her parents. There was nothing she could do about that though. "You sure about that?" Kakashi asked. The two looked around before they saw Naruto standing up from the tree behind them. "How long have you been there?" Sasuke asked. "Long enough to have killed you both," Kakashi said. The two looked irritated before Kakashi continued. "To pass this test you have to get a bell before the time runs out," Kakashi said as he pulled out a pair of bells. "Sensei, you only have 2 bells," Ino said, thinking his aloof manner allowed him to forget a bell. "I know. That means that one of you will fail. You're going to have to come at me with the intent to kill or you'll never get a bell," Kakashi said. Naruto and Sasuke smirked while Ino was nervous. She knew that Naruto and Sasuke were stronger than her. "Begin," Kakashi said as the three disappeared into the forest. "I think I would have been better off if I was teamed with Kiba. He would have charged in recklessly and given me time to plan, watch Kakashi's moves, and strike when he lets his guard down. That's not possible now. Ino is a Yamanaka, so she is probably a long-range fighter with her clan techniques. Naruto was as good as Sasuke, but he wasn't as headstrong as Kiba and would probably wait as well." Sasuke thought as he contemplated his options. "There must be something extra to this test than getting the bells. Kakashi knows my secret and knows that I could easily take the bells. The fact that there are only 2 bells and 2 people can pass is weird. I've never heard of a 2-man genin squad. The true purpose to the test must be to work together in a situation where one will have negative results. I guess I should tell the others or we won't pass," Naruto thought as he went to fight Kakashi. Naruto used his superior speed to get behind Kakashi. "Hello, sensei," Naruto said. "Hello, Naruto. I figured you would be the first to come after me," Kakashi said as he prepared himself. Naruto didn't go full speed and he threw a punch at Kakashi, which he blocked with a lot of difficulty. Naruto smirked as he tried to sweep kick Kakashi, who jumped over the kick but realized it was a feint too late. Naruto sent his leg out to kick Kakashi back but he managed to block the kick. He was sent flying but landed on the water. Naruto smirked at used his speed to run circles around Kakashi and throw punches at random, which was blocked by Kakashi. Kakashi was starting to show slight signs of exhaustion from the fight. Nothing that could actually take him out of the fight, but to get to this level from a mere alien genin was saying something. He was using chakra to enhance his guard and to stay on the water. After landing another blow, Naruto ran away. Kakashi was on full alert for the next attack from Naruto or his other 2 students. Sasuke and Ino had wide eyes at the situation. Naruto was moving at a speed that Kakashi was having a hard time to keep up with. They also were shocked that Kakashi was standing on the water. Before they knew it, the two was grabbed and carried deeper into the forest. Naruto dropped them down. "I found out the true purpose of the test. The bells are a distraction and are used to make us work against each other. There has never been a 2-man genin squad and we are no exception. The point is to prove that we can work together. I assume that regardless of whether or not we get the bells, we'll pass. In the off chance that I'm wrong, you two can have the bells, I promise," Naruto said. "Alright," Sasuke said as he agreed with Naruto. It sounded like it was possible and he knew that his chances would increase when he worked with Naruto. Ino nodded after Sasuke agreed. Together as a team they had a better chance than just 2 people. They went over a quick plan and moved out. Unknown to them, a shadow clone of Kakashi was watching the entire situation. He smiled at the situation and dispelled to send Kakashi the memories. Kakashi lowered his guard for his students, or at least his guard appeared to be down. Out of nowhere, Sasuke threw a barrage of kunai and shuriken which hit Kakashi. 2 seconds after they hit, he poofed into a log. That was expected from the trio. Kakashi appeared behind Ino and used a low-level genjutsu against her. She screamed and almost passed out. Naruto ran full speed and freed her from the genjutsu at the last second. She discreetly, obviously to Kakashi, threw a kunai at him which set off a trap that Sasuke set up. A second barrage of kunai and shuriken came at Kakashi, but this time he caught the first kunai and blocked the rest. Before he knew it, Sasuke appeared behind him. Sasuke threw a kick which Kakashi caught. Sasuke then threw a punch which Kakashi blocked. Sasuke threw his next attack with his other foot, with Kakashi blocked with his already in use limbs. Sasuke then smirked and reached for a bell. He tipped it once, but then Kakashi jumped back. Sasuke went through some hand signs, and Kakashi was shocked. Fire-style fireball jutsu. Sasuke said as a huge fireball was shot at Kakashi. When the fireball dispersed, Kakashi was gone. That was expected though. Sasuke looked around and didn't find Kakashi. Below you. Kakashi said as his hand shot out of the ground, but things after that didn't go as he expected. Naruto blurred next to Sasuke and grabbed Kakashi's hand and interrupted the headhunter jutsu. Naruto pulled Kakashi out of the ground and Sasuke, with all his speed, snatched the bells and backflipped away to where Ino was waiting. Naruto flung Kakashi in the opposite direction, but not before receiving a kick to the chest. It did little to Naruto, but he used his speed to appear next to his teammates. Good job. Now who gets the bells, Sasuke? Kakashi asked. The bells aren't important. Even if they were, Sasuke said as he pulled out a kunai and sliced one of the bells in half. He then threw a whole bell to Ino, before he threw a half to Naruto. We all get the bells. Congratulations. You passed the test and figured out the true purpose of the test. I can proudly say you're the first to do both. My first time taking the test was before a special mission. I had just recently received the promotion to Jounin, and my teammates were Chunin. I was arrogant and thought my team would slow me down, so I allowed them to work together while I waited and planned. They did good, but Sensei wasn't called the Yellow Flash for nothing. He easily beat my Uchiha teammate and our medic Nin, who was actually good at sensing, but not at a sensor level. After they were defeated, I attacked Sensei. He held back on me the entire fight, but the battle wasn't decided until he flashed behind me and placed a kunai to my neck while I was charging up my own created jutsu. I hadn't noticed it, but he had placed a marker for his Hiraishin on me earlier on in the fight. My teammates and I were 13 and better skilled than you three, although you pulled off something we were never able to do. You should feel proud of yourselves. You three are officially Team 7. Kakashi said as he smiled. Sasuke smirked and Ino smiled, but they both had thoughts on Naruto and how he was able to do the things he did today. Naruto was smiling as well, but was thinking about whether or not he wanted his team to learn his secret. Chapter 3. Team 7 was slightly disappointed with the start of their ninja career. They were doing D-ranked missions, that should be called chores. The only training they got was the sparring they did before their sensei showed up late and the teamwork training he put them through. One day after an uninteresting taijutsu practice, Naruto decided to take command and ask for better training. Kakashi arrived late as usual. "Hello team," Kakashi said in a carefree tone. He was greeted with 3 different responses that were actually customary now. Ino would glare, Sasuke would grunt, and Naruto would look irritated. "Sensei, do you think we could step up our training a little? This teamwork training is useful and all, but our teamwork can never truly improve if we have no individual skills to contribute," Naruto said. Sasuke would have taken offense to what Naruto said, but he quickly realized Naruto's plan. Ino didn't realize Naruto's plan and was mentally berating Naruto for bad-mouthing her and Sasuke. "You do seem to have a point, Naruto. How about this, we take 4 days and train. 2 days specifically on teamwork training and the other 2 on your individual skills. The other 3 days of the week will be spent on D-rank missions," Kakashi offered to his team. This idea was met with nods of approval. Sasuke had been training on his own since the massacre. Now he would finally have a Jounin sensei to teach him something, hopefully useful in accomplishing his goals. Ino saw this as time to learn something outside of her clan techniques, as well as learn of ways to add her jutsu into their teamwork. Naruto saw this as a chance to improve his ninja skills, Jinjutsu especially. "Good, then this new schedule will begin the following Monday," Kakashi said. Today was Saturday and 2 days from their desired day. 2 days had came and gone. Today was Monday and Team 7 was eagerly awaiting their training. Not one of the genin had any clue as to what they were in for, and that's what made it more exciting, the suspense. "Hello team, ready for training?" Kakashi asked as he appeared before his team only 10 minutes late. "Hi." They responded, unfazed by his action. "I figured to start us off, we would work on physical conditioning as well as chakra control. You're going to start with a set amount of physical exercises apiece, and then I will teach you all how to control your chakra better," Kakashi said as their training got underway. Naruto was the first one to finish the physical exercise, and to keep away boredom, he continued until Ino finished. When it came to tree climbing, the chakra control exercise, Ino finished first and Naruto last. He wasn't really used to channeling chakra anywhere but his hands. Ever-increasing physical exercises and increasingly difficult chakra control exercises continued throughout the next 4 weeks. They had mastered the 2 chakra control exercises. Ino has very small reserves, so controlling it is so much easier. She had the easiest time of controlling her chakra. Sasuke and Naruto are just about even, with Naruto being better. Naruto has bigger reserves and better control. And was able to do at least 3 times as many reps in the physical exercise portion than what they started doing and. Naruto can do them easily, he is just pretending for his teammates. They were starting to get bored. Alright team, I'm satisfied enough with your progress to move on to new things. You will continue to do the physical exercises, but in the morning before missions and training. You will also get to work on one thing of your choosing. If you don't have any preference, then I will make you work on your weakest skill. We will also change the schedule up again. With the current schedule, you'll only get a few days of training. We're going to do 5 days of training, 4 for this training and 1 for teamwork training. The 6th day of the week will be spent working on D-rank missions, while the last day will be a day off. I ask that you take advantage and relax that day, but the option is totally up to you. Kakashi said. Elemental manipulation. Sasuke said. That is something that most people don't start on at least until they reach Chunin rank. We can work on that, but I also want to see what your teammates' affinities are too. Kakashi said as Sasuke nodded. Genjutsu? Naruto simply said. From what I know of your skills, Genjutsu is truly your only weakness. I would have suggested this if you didn't have a preference. Kakashi said as Naruto nodded. Genjutsu? It's my weakest area and it can be a good starting point for learning. Ino said. A good solution. After Taijutsu, you will also learn Kenjutsu. Kakashi said as Ino nodded. Kakashi was not playing when he seriously trained them. He didn't teach them anything that they weren't prepared for but was very tough on them and expected nothing less than 100% from each of them. Sasuke had learned that his affinity was lightning, which Kakashi was secretly happy about. Kakashi promised to teach him a special lightning-style jutsu after he unlocked the Sharingan, but until then Kakashi taught him lightning manipulation. Naruto took to the Genjutsu training rather easily. It wasn't as if he was trying to learn how to use Genjutsu. He was only interested in detecting and dispelling it. He knew this method would not work on a Sharingan user like Sasuke's brother Itachi, Kakashi-sensei, or Sasuke if they used Sharingan-based Genjutsu, but the plan to dealing with that was to close his eyes and use his other senses to fight off his opponent if he wanted to play with them or just use his speed to subdue his opponent with ease if the fight needed ending quick. Not that he needed it, but Naruto also worked on using his other senses. That was actually very easy. His senses being enhanced easily made up for the loss of sight. He also started working on wind manipulation. Ino had really improved in her taijutsu by leaps and bounds. Kakashi also instructed her on close-range combat with kunai. She also followed her teammates' example and started working on water manipulation. Kakashi suggested that to increase their teamwork they could emulate Katetsu and Izumo, who used kunai blades. Ino was confused, but Sasuke was interested. Kakashi got the two to visit their training and give the trio a demonstration of their ability and teamwork with the blades. Ino jumped at the idea of using the weapons. Kakashi decided to force their hand a little and ask Katetsu and Izumo to show him where to get a pair for Sasuke and Ino. Sasuke was against it at first, but Kakashi mentioned that once he mastered lightning manipulation, he could channel lightning through the blade in combination with Ino's water manipulation. Sasuke hadn't thought of that. It turned out that he had the perfect teammates for him. He had a lightning affinity while Ino had a water affinity. Combined and they could make a fearsome Kenjutsu style. Naruto on the other hand had a wind affinity. Combined with Sasuke's fire jutsu could make for some devastating attacks. For the first time ever, Sasuke had thoughts of forming a team to help him in his goals of defeating Itachi. The only problem with this plan was that his team would most likely be Naruto and Ino. They most likely would never betray Konoha, so this mission had to be either sanctioned by the Hokage or on the side during a mission they receive after they get Chunin rank. I'll tell them of my plans and hope they agree to help me, Sasuke thought as he cast a sideways glance at his teammates. Sasuke readily agreed to the idea. Kakashi told them that after Sasuke got to an acceptable level with the lightning beast running jutsu and after Ino got to an acceptable level with her taijutsu, they would obtain the blades and train using them. Naruto also started working on the wind-style air bullet. Chapter 4. All the while the team was training, Naruto was working on controlling his two newest powers. X-ray vision and superhuman vision. Naruto had the misfortune to activate the X-ray vision when he was walking past the hot springs. He heard giggling that didn't sound like it was coming from a female. He glanced up and saw an old man. He was using a telescope to see something. Naruto looked into that direction and at that moment his new power activated and he saw something that isn't typically seen on a living person. He saw the skeletons and chakra systems of the women on the female side of the hot spring. It didn't take him long to realize what he was looking at and he passed out with a massive nosebleed. He gained his superhuman vision while he was sitting on the Hokage monument. The direction he happened to be looking in zoomed in and he saw his sensei standing in front of the hero's monument. Deciding not to pry into Kakashi's life since he assumed he was mourning a fallen comrade or family member, Naruto didn't focus his hearing on his sensei. It hadn't taken him too long to master his newest powers before Team 7 was sent on their first C-rank mission. "Sensei, can we get a harder mission?" Naruto asked as they were walking to the Hokage's tower. "I don't see why not. You guys have been training hard and your teamwork is coming along great," Kakashi said to the excitement of Team 7. "Hello Team 7. The Hokage said as he greeted his shinobi. "I would like to request a C-ranked mission for my team, sir," Kakashi said. "Are you sure that they are ready?" the Hokage asked. "They have been training hard and their teamwork is good. Besides, if the mission is too hard then I can step in for assistance," Kakashi said. "C-rank granted. You are to escort your client, Tazuna, home to the land of waves and then protect him until he completes his bridge," the Hokage said. "Hi. Team, meet me at the gates while I go get our client," Kakashi said as Kakashi shunshined out of the room while Team 7 ran towards the gate. When they arrived, Kakashi was walking up with their client. "Team, this is our client, Tazuna. Tazuna, this is Naruto Uzumaki, Ino Yamanaka and Sasuke Uchiha," Kakashi introduced. "Your team is a bunch of brats. I paid for a team to protect me, not a team that I have to babysit," Tazuna said. In the blink of an eye, Sasuke and Ino had their blades pressed in an X formation at his neck while Naruto was in front of him with his fist pressed directly on Tazuna's chest. Tazuna didn't understand the fist, but the other members did. If you weren't channeling chakra to intercept Naruto's strikes, then it would really hurt. "What do you think now, Tazuna?" Kakashi asked. "That I should watch what I say or I could end up killed by my protection," Tazuna said. "Ironic, isn't it? Let's move out, team," Kakashi said as Team 7 was back into relaxed stances and ready to walk out of the gate. 20 minutes later. They had been walking and the team was actually surprised that Tazuna hadn't asked to stop by now. He looked old, but they guessed that he was still active, especially since he was building a bridge. As they were walking, Naruto and Kakashi noticed something off. Kakashi saw the puddle, but pretended to not see it to appear as if his guard was down. Naruto smelled a funny smell and his nose led him to the puddle. He used his X-ray vision to see two chakra signatures that were higher than Sasuke and Ino's, but appeared to be dwarfed by Kakashi. Naruto also noticed that Kakashi had noticed it too, so he just played along and pretended as if he saw nothing. When they passed the puddle, two figures appeared and attacked Kakashi with a simple chain that they used to rip him to shreds. Ino and Sasuke were shocked that their sensei, who they struggled to beat, was taken down so easily. "Snap out of it, they are the enemy and after our client," Naruto said as he used his speed to move Tazuna to where Kakashi was watching. Sasuke and Ino quickly regained their bearings and charged at the assailant on the left. Naruto and Sasuke threw, in unison, an element-charged kunai at the chain. The combined efforts of lightning and wind cut the chain in half. Naruto then charged at his opponent and knocked him unconscious and then turned to watch Sasuke and Ino. Sasuke was the first one to reach his opponent and he blocked a strike by the missing nin's claw while Ino used Sasuke's shoulder as a stepping stone. She jumped over the two and slashed at their enemy's back. He quickly threw Sasuke off and turned to counter Ino's strike. He deflected her kunai blade and swung at her with his other claw, but she was quickly substituted with Sasuke, who was already crouching. The claw strike missed, but Sasuke swept the enemy's feet from under his feet and he fell on his back. Ino joined the fight again and did a leg drop on her foe, who turned out to be a water clone. "Behind you," the enemy said as he thrust his claw at Sasuke's head. He was shocked that his hand went right through. "Over here. Lightning beast running jutsu," Sasuke said. Ino smirked at her foe as she splashed the puddle into the enemy's face. The jutsu had right through her because she, like Sasuke, replaced herself with a clone. The jutsu hit him dead on and he died instantly. Normally the jutsu wouldn't have been enough to kill him, but the water that he just got soaked with supercharged the lightning and was enough to stop his heart. "Good job, team," Kakashi said as he walked into the clearing with the real Tazuna in tow. "How are you two doing?" "It had to be done. He would have killed us if we didn't." "I didn't enjoy it if that's what you're asking," Sasuke said. "I'm fine. I'm not in any rush to kill again, but I'm glad I got my first one out of the way," Ino said as Kakashi smiled. He had told his students during their training that they would have to kill eventually, but it was their job. As long as they didn't enjoy it and they didn't relish in doing it, then they were still human and that's all that mattered. "Sensei, we can either interrogate this one or we can just kill him. Either way, I'm pretty sure they were after Tazuna," Naruto said. "How did you come to that conclusion?" Kakashi asked. He had too, but he wanted to hear Naruto's idea. When I first noticed them I realized that your chakra clearly dwarfed theirs. From what I know of you reputation-wise, you are just short of cage level. These guys were clearly Chunin level. That made me think that you couldn't have been their target because they would have either came with a stronger force or not at all, given the skill difference. They also continued their assault after they thought you were dead. That means you weren't the target. None of us could have been because we are fresh genin and haven't made a name for ourselves. Even Sasuke couldn't be the target because he hasn't even activated the Sharingan, and that would be the only purpose, no offense. Tazuna, who is mostly an unknown to us, must be their target. Naruto explained. Good deduction, Naruto. Kakashi said as Ino smiled and Sasuke smirked. Sasuke was proud to have such a good teammate who would be so useful in his quest for revenge. Ino was happy that her teammate was good but not cocky. Kami knows she had enough to deal with when it came to Kiba and Yuzuka in the academy. He thought that he was, as his clan called it, an alpha male. He felt that Sasuke's fan club belonged to him, was overly cocky without the actual skill to back it up, and was a sore loser. They told him time and again that they didn't like him, but he constantly challenged Sasuke as if girls were things to be won. I would have made my explanation simpler, but yours works. I don't know what you're talking about. Tazuna said as he backed up, but he backed into Naruto. Tell us the truth, or Naruto started leaving space for Kakashi to finish. We leave you here and head home. Kakashi finished. Alright. A powerful man named Gato has set his sights on me. Gato is a powerful shipping magnate whose shipping company is actually a front for much shadier activities, such as smuggling illegal goods and dealing drugs. He has taken control of the land of Wave's shipping routes and created a monopoly by isolating our country from the outside world, preventing free import and export, and turning it into an impoverished, hunger-stricken country in the process. The bridge I'm building will connect us back to the mainland, but the problem is that Gato doesn't want me to finish. Tazuna explained. Now explain why you lied on the mission report. Had you told us all of this we would have sent out a more qualified team, no offense. Kakashi asked. Our country is poor because of Gato. We can't afford anything more than we paid for. Tazuna said. That also could have been worked out. Lord Hokage would have accepted the mission and taken the rest after you guys got back on your feet. Lord Hokage is a generous man and can be understanding. Kakashi said. Will you leave me now that you know I have lied to you? Tazuna asked. He wanted to play the guilt trip but he doubted it would work. These people would either continue with the mission or take him back to Konoha, raise the mission ranking, and tell him that he would have to pay more in the future. I leave that up to my team, although I'm for turning around. Kakashi stated. He wasn't scared, Kakashi had taken B, A, and even S ranked mission before. It wasn't fear for himself, but fear for his team. The mission easily jumped to a B-ranked mission with the appearance of the Demon Brothers and would jump to A because the next opponent was guaranteed to be a Jounin. We can't leave him and his people to suffer. Ino said. We didn't do all that training to just run when things got a little tough. Sasuke said. What's the worst that Gato can throw at us? Konoha shinobi are better than some dirty money bought missing nin, and we're going to show Gato just that. Naruto said confidently. I guess it's unanimous. We'll continue with the mission. Everyone, I want you to be on guard at all times. Our next foe will definitely be a Jounin. Kakashi said as he killed the unconscious brother before decapitating both, sealing their heads in sealing scrolls, and then burning the bodies. Tazuna was outwardly disgusted at Kakashi's actions, but he was inwardly excited that they would continue with the mission. Getting a better team would probably be safer, but it would take longer, and who knows what would happen to Tsunami and Inari if he was gone any longer than he needed to be. Chapter 5. Be on alert, team. Most likely our next opponent will show themselves before we get to Tazuna's home. Kakashi said as they exited the boat that Tazuna had prepared for their travel. Team 7 nodded and continued walking. After 30 minutes of walking, Naruto and Kakashi heard a rustle in the bushes to their right. Kakashi knew Naruto heard it, so he allowed him to react. Naruto launched a kunai into the bushes. He missed, but it turned out to be a white rabbit. After a moment of thought concerning the bunny, get down. Kakashi ordered as he tackled Tazuna down. Wanting to try something out, Naruto continued standing. Lucky him, he was already behind Sasuke and Ino, so they never saw this and couldn't question his actions. A huge blade flew through the air towards him. He easily caught the blade to the shock of the enemy nin that tried to land on the blade but ended up landing on the tree. What the hell? The man said as he looked at Naruto holding his blade. You must be really strong to wield this blade. I wonder how effective you will be if I were to break it. Naruto said as he slammed the blade into the ground very hard. The blade shattered, while Zabuza stared in disbelief. It had taken a lot of doing for him to wield the blade easily, but this brat not only stopped it in mid-throw, but it also shattered it. Good job, Naruto. That is Abusa Mamachi, missing nin and former member of the 7 Ninja Swordsmen. Kakashi said as he and the others stood up. He had noticed that Sasuke and Ino had already caught a bit of what Naruto was doing. He just wanted to show that he wasn't in the dark. Naruto didn't care anymore, he was going to tell his teammates when they got to Tezuna's house. He already had permission from the old man anyway. "I'm going to kill you, brat," Zabuza said before he was hit in the neck by 3 senbon. "Thank you for your assistance. I have been tracking him for a while now. The distraction was all I needed to put him down," a masked nin said as he was soon standing next to Zabuza. "Who are you?" Kakashi asked warily. "I'm a hunter nin from the hidden mist," the masked nin said as he was starting to pick Zabuza up. "I don't buy that, step away from Zabuza," Kakashi said as he was about to charge. "I'll be taking my leave," the masked nin said as he quickly fled the scene. "We'll most likely be facing them again. Give me that handle, Naruto," Kakashi said as he sealed the hilt to the executioner's blade. "This will prevent them from returning for it later." "What just happened, sensei? That wasn't a hunter nin from Kiri?" Ino asked. "No," Sasuke and Naruto said at the same time. "It just looked too suspicious. If the head and the sword was all that was important, wouldn't it have been easier to just decapitate him, burn the body, and then take the sword and the head instead of the whole body?" Naruto said. "Dad told me that hunter nin do exactly what you said, Naruto. It's protocol actually. Any more than that and they must not be a real hunter nin," Sasuke said. "You guys really are taking seeing through deception to heart. That is the same thing I thought. The fake hunter nin must be an accomplice of Zabuza and got him out because a fight with us would have been more of a challenge with nothing to use. You broke his blade and he wasn't carrying a pouch. That means he had no weapons and would have had to rely solely on his ninjutsu and taijutsu, and in both cases I probably could win. We'll be seeing them later. Let's head to Tezuna's house," Kakashi said as he motioned for Tezuna to lead the way. It actually hadn't taken long given the pace they set after the encounter with Zabuza and his accomplice. "This is my home. Tsunami, I'm home," Tezuna called through the house. "Dad, you're back." A young woman walked out and eagerly hugged her father. She had missed him. "Tsunami, I would like for you to meet the ninja that escorted me home," Tezuna said. "But they are children, these are ninja?" Tsunami asked. "We train our children from a young age until the point where they join the academy. To graduate you have to pass a test. To actually become a ninja of the village you would have to pass an elite ninja's test. My test, like most others, revolves the most important thing for a rookie ninja to know. Teamwork. Without it you will be sent back to the safety of the academy. If you pass, said elite ninja train you while you and your team take on D-ranked missions which are harmless tasks around the village. When the elite ninja feels you have trained hard enough you can take on simple missions outside the village like this one. I'm just glad my team took this and not another team. Any team that hadn't really trained properly would have surely not been ready for this mission, but I assure you that my team can handle this," Kakashi explained. He could tell that Tsunami was just curious and not belittling his team. "That's good to hear," Tsunami said. "Where is Inari?" Tezuna asked. "He is up in his room. Last I checked he was taking a nap," Tsunami said. "Would guys like to get settled in?" Tsunami offered. "That would be helpful, so we can discuss our next course of action," Kakashi said with an eye smile. "Alright, follow me," Tsunami said with a cheerful smile as she led them to the room that they would be sharing. Along the way she offered for Ino to share a room with her, but Kakashi denied, saying that she needed to get used to sleeping around them because as a rookie ninja, she will be sent on missions in teams. Most likely Team 7. They wouldn't always have the luxury of sleeping indoors, so it was at least best to get comfortable sleeping close to others. At best they will have tents that will be placed in the same small clearing, or at worst they will get no sleep at all. I assume we have at least 3 days before Zabuza returns. The death-like state will put a slight toll on his body, but that can be overcome easily. His accomplice will probably also supply him with ninja tools to make up for his now missing blade," Kakashi said as everyone but him sat down. "Any time for some last-minute training?" Naruto asked. The accomplice was an unknown. He was sure Kakashi could take on Zabuza alone, but they didn't know what the accomplice could do, and that could be a mismatch for his team. "No. The accomplice could strike at any time without Zabuza, so it's better to have you guys at 100% just in case. If it comes to an all-out fight I want Naruto to work with me against Zabuza while you two take on the accomplice. The sooner we take out Zabuza the quicker we can help you two if you haven't already finished the battle," Kakashi said. "Wouldn't Naruto get in your way, sensei? I mean he's better than a genin, but this Zabuza guy seems on a whole other level," Ino said worriedly. "I'll just tell you the reasoning then," Naruto said as he cut off Kakashi before he could say another word. "On the day of graduation, I found out my heritage. In short, I'm an alien from the planet Krypton. Naruto said. Stop playing Naruto, aliens don't exist. Ino said. Just because we don't have the ability to leave Earth and go see doesn't mean aliens doesn't exist. My ancestor and her cousin both came to this planet after their home planet was destroyed. Naruto said as he pulled out the letter from his mother that he kept on him at all times. That's horrible. Sasuke said as he thought of his own experience, that must have really been painful to lose your entire planet, not just your family. Were they emotionally aware at the time? Ino asked. I'm not sure. My mother didn't say how old they were in her letter. Just that they came here after the planet was destroyed. Naruto said. Naruto then proceeded to explain meeting the old man and reading his mother's letter. He also spoke of his clan and the Kyuubi. That's a lot to take in, Naruto, but it doesn't change who you are. We may not have been close in the academy, but we have been around each other since Team 7 formed. You're still Naruto Uzumaki of Team 7. Ino said eagerly. What of these abilities can you do so far? Sasuke asked. I currently have superhuman speed, strength and durability, enhanced senses, superhuman vision, and X-ray vision. I should one day have heat vision, ice breath and the ability to fly. Naruto said. Fly? Wow, that's amazing. Ino said. That really changes things. Sasuke said quietly. Naruto was scared that Sasuke was going to hate him. What do you mean, Sasuke? Ino asked in shock. I wanted to ask for your help, but I don't know if you'll accept. If you don't, you'll become an enemy that I can't beat in the future. Sasuke said. This calmed Ino and Naruto down, but it made Naruto and Kakashi suspicious. What is it? You know you can ask me anything. Naruto said. I wanted to ask you guys if you would help me in my quest for vengeance. I want to kill Itachi and I've realized that you guys can really help me get there. I figured that you guys would be the only people I would truly trust with this. I knew that you guys would never betray Konoha in any way, so killing Itachi would have to be sanctioned by the Hokage or on the side during a mission we get after becoming Chunin. Sasuke said. That's all. We could do that easily once you're strong enough to defeat Itachi. Naruto said as Ino nodded. They understood that they were mostly needed when it came to tracking Itachi and then distracting any comrades Itachi had with him. That would be easy when the time came. Or you can simply forget about revenge and do something more worthwhile, like rebuilding your clan. Kakashi added his input. That wouldn't work. Who's to say Itachi won't return and kill them? No, I have to take him out so that I could be at peace and not worry about returning to finish the job. Sasuke said. That is childish. You act like you won't make a name for yourself along the way. Killing Itachi will bring your name up. He murdered your entire clan in one night. For you to kill him when there was already a huge gap in your strength will mark you in bingo books everywhere. Kakashi said. Then you'll just have to teach us stealth. That way a title can be marked, but Team 7 Sasuke, Naruto, and Ino never will. Sasuke said. If that's the case, we'll need a new team call sign that will be off the records. I have the perfect idea. Team Leaf. Krypton, Sukin, and Raken under call sign Inu. Naruto said as he pointed at himself, Ino, Sasuke and finally Kakashi. Was that because of my summons or my former career in Anbu? Kakashi asked. Both. Naruto said. You know we will have to discuss this with Lord Hokage and then train with new outfits that keep your identity hidden, as well as learning how to separate Team 7 from Team Leaf. Kakashi said. That shouldn't be too hard. Let's worry about that later after this mission is over. For now we can worry about the bridge. Naruto said. 3 days later. The day is the day we most likely face Abusa and his accomplice. I'm going to leave a shadow clone here just in case while we head to the bridge with Tazuna. At the moment we face danger, I want you to bring Tazuna home. Kakashi said to Naruto as they headed out. You think today is the day? Tazuna asked as they walked from his house to the bridge. Yes. Kakashi said. When they arrived at the bridge, it was completely empty and a mist was covering bridge. Naruto. Kakashi said discreetly as Naruto used his full speed to replace Tazuna with a shadow clone transformed into Tazuna. Don't think I forgot about what you did to my blade brat. I'm going to enjoy killing you. Zabuza said from the mist as it engulfed the team of Konohinin and one transformed clone. Haku, take out the other 2 brats. I got Kakashi and the blonde brat. Zabuza said as Haku nodded his masked head. Sasuke and Ino charged after Haku, who jumped back to distance his fight from Zabuza's. Sasuke and Ino vs. Haku. You should give up now. There is no way you can win. Haku said. Without words, Sasuke and Ino charged at Haku. They drew their kunai blades and attempted to attack. Haku quickly created some form of clone with a single one-handed seal. Haku blocked Sasuke while the clone blocked Ino. It appears that you two work together. I guess it's better that I split you up. Haku said as was locked in a deadlock with Sasuke, but they both knew that wasn't true. 1,000 needles of death. Sasuke could tell that Haku was about to do a jutsu, so he readied himself to move. The second Haku and his clone moved, so did Sasuke and Ino. "We can't waste time with this guy," Sasuke said as Ino nodded. Ino formed a water clone and charged at Haku. "You cannot win, but if you continue to stand in my way, I'll be forced to put you down," Haku said. "Tell it to someone who cares," Ino said as her and the clone charged. The water clone decapitated the ice clone, while Ino was deadlocked Haku. Before he could use the thousand's needles of death again, Ino substituted with a log. That wasn't the chakra though. The chakra was the jutsu that Sasuke had sent at Haku. "That was an impressive strategy, but it won't work on me. Hyout an ice dome," Haku said as he formed a dome quickly around himself to defend against Sasuke's jutsu. "Damn. I thought I had him," Sasuke said as Ino rejoined his side. A moment later a scream pierced the air. Sasuke and Ino didn't recognize it as familiar, so they concluded it must be Zabuza. "Zabuza. Playtime is over," Haku said as he went through a few hand signs. Crystal ice mirrors. Mirrors began surrounding Sasuke and Ino. Haku then walked into one of the mirrors from the outside and appeared in every mirror. "This is bad," Ino said as her and Sasuke moved so that they were back to back. Haku then started to barrage them with senbon, but they were also something more. Closer inspection showed that they were covered in ice, almost as if Haku was throwing shards of ice at them. Sasuke, although holding his own for the time being, was channeling lightning chakra through his blade, but Ino was struggling. She had the same idea, but her water chakra was not making things any easier. After an exhausting 2 minutes Haku let up and Ino fell to her knees. "Your teamwork is better than I expected, but is it enough?" Haku said as he aimed once again, but at Ino specifically. Sasuke noticed this and grabbed Ino's kunai blade before deflecting Haku's senbon that started to increase in numbers and ferocity after the initial assault on Ino. "He must be tiring. I seem to be deflecting more and more. I have to keep up this pace and tire him out further. I won't let you get hurt, Ino," Sasuke thought to himself. He was completely unaware to the change in his eyes, but Haku wasn't. His eyes have changed. He must have a bloodline, it appears to have just activated in the defense of his comrade. This battle will come down to whose will is stronger. His to protect his comrade or mine to keep Zabuza's dream alive. Haku thought to himself as he tried to push himself harder. Chapter 6. On the other end of the battlefield, the battle that had just started was close to its end. "Want to see something funny?" Naruto said as Kakashi's clone dispelled. "It was expected. You know nothing of my fighting style, so the best way to keep the bridge builder safe is to keep him away from me," Zabuza said. "That and how easy you're about to lose. Sensei, do you have a one-hit kill jutsu?" Naruto asked. "My lightning blade, but what is going to stop Zabuza from dodging it?" Kakashi asked. "This," Naruto said as he blurred to behind Zabuza and held the missing nin completely still. "What the hell? Get off of me, brat," Zabuza yelled. He was confused that this brat moved faster than he could see and now was restraining him easily. "That also works, Naruto," Kakashi said as he quickly went through the hand seals for his upgraded version on his own created jutsu. Kakashi finished soon and charged in. Upon stabbing through, Kakashi felt his hand graze Naruto and felt fear that Naruto might be hurt from his jutsu. That was drawn from his mind when Zabuza screamed out in anguish. A moment later he was dead. "Now that he's dead, Sensei, we can take care of the unwanted guests over there," Naruto said. "Who is over there, Naruto?" Kakashi asked. "A bunch of bandits and thugs and a short guy that could be Gato," Naruto said. "Let's go," Kakashi said as he pulled his hand out of Zabuza and drew 2 kunai and he was followed by Naruto. They charged into the group and killed all the men, minus the assumed Gato. "Are you Gato?" Kakashi demanded. "Yes, please don't kill me. I'll pay you whatever you want," Gato pleaded. "I don't want anything from your filthy hands," Kakashi said as he knocked Gato unconscious and then bound and gagged the man. "The others hopefully are done by now. Let's go check," Naruto said as Kakashi burned the bodies of the dead men, decapitated Zabuza and sealed his head with the hilt of the executioner's blade and picked up Gato and carried him over his shoulder. But Sasuke. Haku was tiring more and more, but he didn't want to give up. Sasuke was feeling the same. "You are clearly exhausted and unused to using both of those blades at the same time. Give up and I may spare your life," Haku said. "You talk tough for someone not winning. I'm just catching my second wind," Sasuke said. He actually wasn't bragging. He was determined to protect Ino and that gave him the energy to continue on. There was something about the girl. She wasn't the annoying fangirl he thought she was. She was his comrade, friend, but even then those words didn't feel right. All he knew was that losing her would hurt just as bad as watching his clan's massacre again. He actually was planning his victory. He still didn't notice that he activated his Sharingan, but he could somehow see that Haku was running low on chakra. To preserve some, Sasuke stopped channeling lightning chakra in the blades. He wasn't deflecting the senbon anymore, more like blocking them as well as denting and scratching the blades. That didn't matter as long as they survived. It also conserved his chakra so he could use it against the chakra-exhausted Haku. Your partner is down and you are slowly following her. Make no mistake that if this fight continues, I will be forced to kill you both. Haku said. No, you won't lay on finger on her. Sasuke said angrily. Unknown to them both, Ino was conscious and heard every word. Sasuke. Ino thought to herself in worry. After another 2 minutes of the barrage, the mirrors fell and Haku stood panting. While Sasuke was tired as well physically, he was able to restore some of his chakra. This fight is over. Sasuke said as he stabbed the blades into the ground and used the lightning beast running jutsu. Haku dodged the attack and threw some senbon at Sasuke, but they went through him. Sasuke appeared behind Haku and plunged both blades into his back. The illusion of Sasuke and the blades next to Ino faded. I guess your will to protect her was stronger than my own will keeps Abusa's dream alive. Haku said before dying. Sasuke allowed Haku to fall off the blades before turning to Ino. He walked over to her. I guess you guys didn't need our help. Kakashi said as he walked over. Who's the midget? Ino asked. Edo. Naruto said. The guy that has been making life hell for these people. Sasuke asked. Yes. He was waiting at the end of the bridge with a good amount of thugs. My guess would be that he was planning to betray Zabuza after a lengthy ninja battle which would have tired us all out. Lucky for us, I had Naruto which considerably shortened our battle and left us in peak condition. Kakashi said. What's next, sensei? Naruto asked. We head back to Tazuna's house and tell him that he can finish the bridge with no worries. Then turn in Gato to the town and allow him to face their justice system. With the threat to his life gone, we can most likely head home as soon as Ino is ready. Kakashi answered as they walked off the bridge. Ino, although walking with her arm around Sasuke, was lost in thought. Like she had originally told the team when they first formed, she had no feelings for Sasuke in the romantic sense. That unfortunately caused the opposite reaction in Sasuke, as opposed to how he reacts around the girls that do have crushes on him. He paid more attention to her and let her in as a friend, like she initially wanted. The problem was he grew interested in her, and that battle on the bridge showed her a little insight. She wasn't sure how far that went, but she hoped that he hadn't caught feelings. She wouldn't lie, he was all the things that most girls her age liked in boys. He was mysterious, handsome, cool, and a good ninja. The problem was, as his friend, she got to see a deeper side to him. He was mysterious because he never let anyone in. He was a good ninja because he always aspired to be like his older brother who was a genius. This was before the massacre, meaning before entering the academy. At a young age Sasuke was able to use the fire-style fireball jutsu, which is normally hard for even genin to do, let alone academy students. Sasuke had a good early start. After the massacre, Sasuke was so focused on killing Itachi that he spent most of the time in his days getting better at what he knew. It wasn't much and he had no guidance, but he trained hard when he wasn't in the academy or sleeping. Sasuke was a motivated person. This was the side that not many of the girls in their class got to see. Most would probably get scared and distance themselves from him, but Ino never wanted him in that way, so to her, it just made them closer friends. The girl was lost. If the Uchiha really did like her, how would Sakura take that? Their friendship could be saved if Ino didn't win this competition, be it through Sakura winning or just both losing. That way they could reconnect and grow stronger together like they promised when they were kids. Ino had a lot more thinking to do on what to do to spurn Sasuke's affections, if he had any, and maintain their friendship. Sasuke himself was on autopilot. He was too tired to form a conscious thought, but his body was moving, ready to get a chance to relax after such a tiring fight. Had he been a little less tired he would have thought about his Kunoichi teammate that he slowly was growing closer to. It started when she had first introduced herself. She wasn't one of those pitiful girls that focused more on him than ninja skills. Although she wasn't doing as well as him or Naruto in the ninja skills department, her mind wasn't clouded with unimportant things. This gave him a reason to actually look at her. During their time together he unintentionally opened up to the girl about his past and she his. Her relationship with Sakura was similar to his and Itachi's. Ino started their rivalry to help Sakura, whereas Itachi started theirs to test the limits of his strength. Sasuke knew that he would forever remain a Konoha shinobi, given that his team would never betray their mutual home, so that left him with a small amount of girls to actually choose from out of the girls around his age group and even less still out of the ones he actually knew something about. If he were thinking about this he would come to the conclusion that Ino will most likely be the only girl he wants by that time, but the problem lies in time. Like Kakashi said, there was a huge gap in their strengths currently. Itachi was an Anbu captain when he was Sasuke's age, and Sasuke was merely a genin. Obviously rank always didn't mean anything, but in this situation it meant that Itachi's recognized strength at this point in time was better than Sasuke's. Who knew how long it would be before he could face Itachi and even hope to win. Without a claim to the girl he wanted now, he could most likely lose her by the time he started looking. Lucky for both Genin, Sasuke had not been thinking these thoughts at the moment. Sasuke was a determined person and if he wanted something he went after it. He would pursue Ino in her moment of confusion and possibly turn her away. That would never be good. 2 weeks later. 2 weeks had passed and Team 7 was at their usual meeting spot, waiting on their sensei. Lucky for Ino, Sasuke never thought about his future, or in particular his future with her, so they never had a confrontation and she got to think. She was resolved to give Sasuke a good push to see where his heart was at, before just accepting what she assumed he was feeling. The quick messenger bird to the Hokage allowed them to return home earlier than expected. Tazuna's life was no longer in danger and he no longer needed their services. The next morning they were able to leave. It was a tearful goodbye for Inari because he had grown fond of the team that almost jumped him when he screamed about them not having a hard life. Upon returning they were given a week off from missions, but 2 days off from training. For the past 12 days they have been training more and more. Sasuke, who awakened his Sharingan during the mission, was taught the Chidori and a Taijutsu style that worked well with the speed he needed to have for the Chidori. Ino mostly learned another clan technique and started sensor training, something that her father was actually very adept at. Naruto just learned another wind jutsu. Hey guys. I wanted to let you know that training and missions are cancelled until further notice. Kakashi said as he appeared before his team. What? Team 7 replied in unison. I entered you guys into the Chunin exams and to compete you have to be in the village that is hosting the exams, which is Konoha this time around. They start tomorrow. Be at the academy room 301 with these forms filled out. See ya. Kakashi said. I guess that was why we only got 2 days off from training, so he could immediately get us back into it, so we would be ready for these, could have told us earlier though. Naruto said as the others nodded. I'm just glad Lord Hokage agreed to our new team. I can't wait for that training to start. Sasuke said as they recalled being called to the Hokage's office with Kakashi last week. Flashback last week Hokage's office. You three have decided to form a team separate from Team 7, so to not expose yourselves when you go after Itachi. Hiruzen asked. Yes, sir. Sensei is right about the fact that killing Itachi normally would land me and my team in the bingo books, and that would cause more of an issue than Itachi after just me. Sasuke said. But this new team we will be more like Anbu with our identity. It will be hard making different skill sets for our Anbu-like team and knowing to keep the two separate to never reveal ourselves, but we're up to it. Ino said. The smart thing would be to actually act like an Anbu and not use anything flashy or not standard. While under this new call sign I would advise each of you to use all elemental jutsu instead of just your affinity and save the affinity jutsu for when you are Team 7. Use a Tanto when Team Leaf and return to the kunai blades when you are Team 7. On the idea for clothes you can wear Anbu gear as Team Leaf and Chunin gear when Team 7. It will be hard for you, but you have time. I will allow this team formation, but you must take my advice and wait until after receiving the Chunin rank before even making your first appearance. Hiruzen said. Hi. Team 7 replied. Flashback end. I guess we should get back to training then. The sooner we become Chunin, the sooner Team Leaf can start. Naruto said as Sasuke smirked and Ino grinned. Day of the exams. Ready to kick ass? Naruto asked his teammates. They were sure that they were ready for this promotion. This is merely a stepping stone. Sasuke said arrogantly. Let's go. Ino said as they walked in the building. They arrived on the landing and saw a group of shinobi crowded around a door that said 301, but the trio knew better. That's a Jinjutsu placed on the sign to make it say 301 when it's really 201. Naruto said after deactivating his X-ray vision. Let's move on and keep ourselves from drawing attention. Sasuke said as they walked past the group. Unfortunately they drew the attention of one spandex-wearing genin. After climbing another pair of stairs and reaching an opening that would lead them to room 301, they stopped when a voice called. Hey you with the attitude. The team turned to see a genin wearing green spandex. Can we help you? Naruto asked. My name is Rock Lee and I wish to challenge your teammate. My sensei has told me about him. We share the same fighting style. Lee said. Are you talking about the strong fist? Sasuke asked. Yes. My sensei created the style and it was copied by your sensei. My sensei allowed you to learn it for this reason. To face an opponent that fights in a similar manner. Lee said. Alright then. My name is Sasuke Uchiha and I accept this challenge. This will be a Taijutsu only match. Let's make this quick, the exams will be starting soon. Sasuke said as he stepped forward. Can't this wait for a while? It's almost 9. Ino said after glancing at her clock. She had faith in Sasuke, but this other genin was an unknown and was trained by the creator of the style. He also wasn't from their graduating class, meaning he could be from any class before theirs. That means he could have at least a year of experience over them. Don't worry. It'll be over soon. Sasuke said confidently. He didn't think about the same things Ino did. All he saw was a friendly challenge. They both formed the same stance. Naruto appeared in between them and signaled for the fight to start. Sasuke moved at a speed that shocked Lee. He wasn't expecting Sasuke to have that kind of speed. It was at the same level as his full speed with his weights on. The problem with using the same taijutsu style was that when Sasuke used a move, Lee countered with the exact same move. By the end of 5 minutes Sasuke was panting and Lee barely looked tired. Sasuke, having just learned this style, hasn't really built up that much stamina. Lee, mostly only sparring with Guy and Neji, has built up stamina from fighting better opponents, even with his weights on. That was a good match. You are actually very good in this style. Lee said. You're not so bad yourself. Next time the outcome will be different though. Sasuke said. He wasn't being cocky, but he seriously held back. He didn't use anything but taijutsu and relied completely on the style he just learned. He could have used the interceptor taijutsu style, which is the Uchiha style, a kinjutsu form he has been working on when alone, or the ninjutsu he knows. He could have given Lee more of a challenge if not won the spar, but he knew it would show the difference in their skill if he used only the strong fist. Come on, let's go. Ino said bossily. She still hadn't gotten out of that habit, but more often than not allowed Sasuke or Naruto to lead. Not to say she would do better, she just followed without complaint. The two boys smiled to each other and headed to room 301, with Lee going ahead to meet with his team. When Team 7 reached the door they saw their sensei. I expected that you guys would all show. Kakashi said. What if we hadn't all showed? Ino asked. If the three of you hadn't came, then I would have been forced to stop your entry. Kakashi said. You could have told us that, but I guess it doesn't matter. Ino said as Kakashi smiled. He dispelled and Team 7 walked forward and through the door. Sasuke-kun. A voice screeched the moment they walked through the door. Before Sasuke knew it he had Sakura Haruno on his back. Although he couldn't see it she looked different. Her hair was cut short, her headband was on her forehead and she was wearing a more ninja outfit. She was wearing black shorts that reached her knees, a black short-sleeved shirt with blue sandals and a blue forehead protector. With a quick replacement, she was on Kiba's back instead of Sasuke's. Hello, Sakura. Sasuke replied. Normally he wouldn't have bothered to respond, but Ino had told him to try. She genuinely wanted them to try at least something for the sake of her friendship with Sakura. Sasuke, honestly, didn't want to try anything with Sakura, but for Ino he would try. Being dense when it came to girls, Sasuke didn't understand what that meant to do something he didn't want to do for Ino. Sakura was shocked at his response and went quiet for a while. That's new. She normally never shuts up. Kiba said as Hinata walked up. That's not nice, Kiba. Hinata said firmly. She was far different from the shy girl that Team 7 remembered. She was wearing black pants with a black long-sleeved top that was slightly loose. I guess the Rookie 9 are together again. Shikamaru said as his team walked up. Rookie 9? Naruto asked. We are Konoha's most recent class of graduates, that makes us rookies. We were surprisingly the only 9 that passed that second test. It's quite simple. Shikamaru said lazily. Shika, Choji. Ino squealed happily. She hadn't seen her childhood friends in a while. All of her time was spent with her team or working in the flower shop. It's good to see you too, Ino. Choji said. For once he wasn't munching on chips. I expected to see you guys here, Shika, but not your team, Naruto. We haven't heard from you since graduation. Kiba said. We've been training and then we had this mission out of the village. Naruto said. That's great. We had 2 missions like that. One with just our team and another with Team 10. Kiba said. How did you do that? Sasuke asked. Our sensei are apparently a couple, so after the Genin test, we've been training together. After our individual C-ranked missions, we took a more difficult one together. Shino said. You guys only had one C-ranked mission? Choji asked. Actually it was a C rank that turned into an A ranked. We faced missing ninja from the Hidden Mist and a bloodline user of an extinct clan. Naruto said. That's so cool. We didn't face any ninja. We mostly got bandits or no action at all. Sakura said. What the hell? Kiba yelled. Hey, calm down guys. A guy with a Konoha forehead protector said. Who are you? Naruto asked. I'm Kabuto Yakushi. You guys are the 9 rookies that everyone's talking about, right? I assumed that you might be good to be allowed in so early, but you've proven otherwise by loudly talking in a room of tense veteran ninja. Kabuto said. Kabuto, right. What do you want? Ino asked. I wanted to help you guys. You clearly aren't ready for these exams, so I wanted to offer a hand. Kabuto said. How? Shikamaru asked. But these. My ninja info cards. They have info on everyone here, including you guys. Kabuto said as he showed them a card that showed how many teams were competing and from what village. What do you have on the sand team and the sound team? They seem suspicious being the only team sent to this exam. Naruto said. The team from sand consists of the current Kazukija's children. Tamari is the oldest, Kankuro is the middle child, and Gaara is the youngest. Tamari is a wand user and her fan on her back only amplifies her wind jutsu. Kankuro is a puppet user, clearly he hasn't thought of sealing his puppets away. That package on his back is a dead giveaway if you know anything about Suna Ninja. Gaara is a sand user. He has full control over sand. They have all been on a ninja team ever since Gaara was officially granted ninja status. They have completed some high-ranking missions for a genin team and Gaara always comes back without a scratch on him. Kabuto said. We know who the powerhouse for that team is. If we have to face them, I'll take Gaara. Sasuke can go against a puppet user since wind attacks would only beat Sasuke's fire jutsu, giving him a disadvantage of not being able to use a majority of his jutsu. Ino should be fine. She won't have any major disadvantages against a wind user. Naruto thought about his possible opponents in the exams. The sound team are mostly unknown to me. They are from a small village that recently popped up. They most likely are just weak and don't have many ninja to really send out. Kabuto said. Unfortunately the two teams had heard him. The sand team hadn't cared. It wasn't like they could retaliate anyway. Gaara wouldn't allow that nor did their mission allow them to draw attention to themselves. The sound team were under no limitations and didn't like the comment about their village being small and weak. The trio charged through crowd toward their target. The female, Kin, hopped in the air and threw Senbon at Kabuto. He jumped back but didn't notice the male leader, Dosu close in for a punch until the last second. He dodged it by tilting his head backwards, but a moment later his glasses cracked and he fell to the ground in pain. What the hell? I saw that and his fist never connected. Kiba said. Living up to their village's name, huh? He used a sound-based attack which most likely attacked Kabuto's eardrums. Lucky me it was directed specifically for Kabuto, otherwise I would be down too. Naruto thought. He made a mental note that he would just have to fight the unknown other member of Team Sound if they crossed paths. Sasuke could handle Dosu and Ino would try her hand with Kin. The girl used Senbon, but she couldn't possibly be better than Haku from what Sasuke and Ino described. It shouldn't be too hard. Put this down in your cards. The team from Sound will become Chunin. Zaku said cockily with his team standing next to him, backing his claim. You want to try that again? Attacking a Konohinin when the exams haven't even started yet. That'll earn you a session with me. I'm Ibiki Marino and from this point on, I'm your worst nightmare. Everybody find a seat away from your teammates. Ibiki said after arriving in a cloud of smoke with the Chunin proctors that were helping him. The Chunin hopefuls all found seats and waited for their instructions. They are papers in front of you. You won't flip them over until I say so. There are 9 questions on the test and the 10th question will be given after a 45-minute time limit. Your score will be factored in with your team as an overall score, meaning you'll get something out of 30. If one team member gets all 10 questions wrong, it's an automatic failure and the team fails the exam. The proctors on each side of the rows are watching for cheating. You each individually start with 10 points and for each wrong or unanswered question you lose a point. On the flip side if you are caught cheating you lose 2 points. Get caught cheating 5 times and your team fails. Now begin. Ibiki said before anyone could argue. It wasn't like he was going to allow that anyway. That doesn't sound right. In any other test you would fail immediately if caught cheating. It's almost like he's encouraging cheating by giving us chances. No, he wants to test our cheating or information gathering skills. That would probably explain why there are 3 Chunin level ninja in here that aren't sitting on the sides. They are probably stationed there for us to cheat off of as a source. Besides these questions are harder than your average genin should be able to answer, probably only Sakura, Shikamaru and I can answer them. Time to finish this first part, I hope the others caught on. Naruto thought as he used his superhuman and X-ray vision to watch the source of info write down the answers he copied as he watched. Naruto seems to be answering these hard questions easily, but wait. He isn't looking at his paper, but ahead of him. Could he be cheating? That must be the point. Naruto wouldn't risk failure if that wasn't the point. He must be using his telescope vision to see someone's paper who is far ahead of him. To everybody else it looks like he is glaring at the boy's back. I guess I'll copy Naruto after he finishes. Ino thought as she prepared her mind-body switch jutsu. Sasuke had come to the same conclusion as Naruto, except the fact that there was sources of info in the room. He actually had one right next to him. Sasuke activated his Sharingan and copied the hand movements of the boy in front of him. It was an obvious move to the proctors, but on a true information gathering mission, the enemy wouldn't notice it as easily as they did unless they had sensors who could detect the activation. Why is that kid glaring a hole in my Chunin's back? Does he know the secret behind the test? If he does, how does that help him cheat? It must be a good technique since his paper is slowly getting filled out. Now his Yamanaka teammate has used her jutsu on him. Isn't he the Kyuubi Jinchuriki? That normally wouldn't be a good idea, but nothing has happened. I won't say nothing. Ibiki thought as he watched Team 7 cheat without being completely obvious. An enemy wouldn't have his knowledge or his vantage point. Chapter 7. Team 7 was currently standing in front of the Forest of Death, ready for their second test during the Chunin exams. The first test was exactly as they figured, a test of their information gathering skills. The 10th question that came afterward was just another test, but of their will. Chunin couldn't turn down missions that were vital to the village, regardless of the risk, so they had to do the same and risk their careers for the chance to move up. There isn't always a next time and they needed to learn that lesson now. The proctor for this part was creepy and sadistic, but it didn't matter because they wouldn't be seeing too much of her. She explained the test to them, which was basically survival with conditions. Your team starts with one scroll and are tasked retrieving the opposite scroll and reaching the tower within 5 days. Full combat was allowed. This shouldn't be too much of a problem for Team 7. I'll carry the scroll, guys. I'm the apparent weak link of the team. Most people will see in Uchiha and Yamanaka and at least assume that you guys are stronger than me. That means they will most likely go after Sasuke for the scroll. Naruto said as the other two nodded. They left the tent and proceeded to their gate. Why don't you check the two closest teams and see which one has the scroll we need? Sasuke said. I was thinking the same thing. Naruto said as he looked to his left and right, to the shock of the proctor. Neither, but the second one on the right does. We'll have gun for them immediately. The second we get in you take us there. Ino said as shadow clone appeared next to Naruto. What are you kids doing? The proctor asked. I'm the fastest on my team, so I'm going to go full speed and get us to the team with the opposite scroll. Naruto said before Ino jumped on his back and Sasuke jumped on the clone's back. That's a shadow clone. How do you know that jutsu? The proctor asked. Sensei taught us, but I think it's time for you to open the gate unless you want me to go over. Naruto teased. Yeah, right. The guy said as he opened the gate and Naruto blurred past him. Take their ninja pouches and any weapons, Naruto, and then we'll strike. Sasuke said as the Narutos released them and continued running. They were faced with a Konoha team. Naruto snatched everything of value including the scroll. Once the team felt the presence, Sasuke and Ino moved in. Using non-lethal blows, they were able to incapacitate the team. Let's head to the tower. Full speed or casual? Naruto said. Full speed. It's probably better to get out while we can and conserve our strength for what's next. Sasuke said as Ino nodded in agreement. They took off in a blur, but before they left they each left a clone to watch over the team they beat. They were Konoha shinobi after all. Before they could too far they were hit with a wind that could only slow Naruto down. I guess we got company. Naruto said as he led his teammates down and released his clone. That wind was meant to send you flying, Naruto-kun, but who would have guessed that you would be running so fast? A feminine voice called out. Who are you? Show yourself. Naruto called. Little Almi. I'm your worst nightmare. The grass Kunoichi said. Be on your toes, guys. She's alone and openly challenged us. Either she's crazy or crazy strong. Naruto said as they nodded. Higher style fireball jutsu. Sasuke said as a huge fireball flew towards Sasuke. Pathetic. The Kunoichi said. Are you sure? Naruto said as he appeared behind her and punched her. It landed, but when the dust cleared it was only a mud clone. That was a nice try, Naruto-kun, the Kunoichi said. Eyes, get out of here now. Naruto hollered as he charged at the woman again. What are you say? Sasuke was cut off as he and Ino were grabbed by a clone that got them far away from the battle. What's going on, Naruto? Ino asked. The boss used X-ray vision and saw that woman was stronger than Sensei. The clone said. What about the real you? Sasuke asked in shock. The boss will hold her off long enough for us to get to the tower and then get out of there. The clone said. With Naruto. After screaming at his team, Naruto charged the lady and continued pounding her. He was keeping his X-ray vision on, so he couldn't be fooled by where she was hiding it using a mud clone. This brat is getting on my nerves. His speed and strength are above even my own. He somehow has the way to track me after I substitute, which isn't giving me the time to chase after Sasuke. If I can land the 5-element seal on him that should slow him down. Kyuubi's chakra is the only explanation for his ability, the Kunoichi thought as she timed her attack to hit Naruto's gut as she herself was struck. Problem is that Naruto saw the attack and narrowed his eyes. He had no clue what the move would do, but whatever it was wouldn't keep his friend safe. Naruto then started to feel heat in his eyes, and a second later a beam of red energy hit the hand with the attack. This heat beam threw off the Kunoichi's concentration, and the chakra dispersed. Naruto had landed his punch, which was the first physical blow he was able to land. What was that? It doesn't matter, Ino and Sasuke are waiting for me. Naruto said as he left before their fight could continue. Naruto, are you okay? Ino asked as he arrived. Yeah. I got lucky because whoever this lady was, she meant business. I only got away because my last attempt to hit her before my clone dispelled, she tried to strike back. I activated my heat vision and burned her hand just before I actually hit her instead of a mud clone she switched with. Naruto said as he motioned for them to walk in the tower. I don't know what that mural means since there is a character missing, but I assume we have to open both scrolls. Naruto said as Sasuke and Ino nodded before they did what he said and their academy sensei was summoned. Hey, long time no see huh? Iruka said as he smiled at his former charges. What are you doing here, Iruka-sensei? Ino asked. At the end of the second exam, we Chunin are supposed to welcome the test takers back. I just happened to be lucky enough to get to be your messenger. Iruka said as he walked forward. What message? Sasuke asked. You guys made good time too. It's not even past the first hour. I'll ask how you did it later though. Congrats, you passed the second exam. To celebrate, I would love to take you guys out to ramen, but I have to explain the mural first. If qualities of heaven are your desire, acquire wisdom to take your mind higher. If earthly qualities you lack, train your body, prepare to attack. Iruka said. It means that if you're not the brightest light bulb in the bunch, study hard to learn all the info you can. Naruto said. It means that if you're not physically strong, work on physical conditioning often. Ino said. When heaven and earth are open together, the perilous path will become righteous forever. Iruka said, waiting for their final input. It means when your body and mind are in sync, dangerous can become easy. Sasuke finished. Also the missing character is meant for the Chunin hopefuls to fill out. Do you see the symbol on the scroll? It's the character for person. These 5 days of survival were to test your abilities as Chunin to see if you would be any good at it. If this test was any indication, you three as a team would be great. That's all I had to tell you other than your wait time until the next part. You are to wait here until 4 more days have passed. Then the exams will continue. Iruka said as he showed them around the tower, and then they told him of what happened in the forest. I think we should let Lord Hokage and Kakashi know. This woman was clearly not a genin and most likely had other plans. Iruka said. Maybe, but let's not draw too much attention to ourselves. Blowing her cover could force her to back off and try it another time or alter her plans. How long until the third phase of the exams? Naruto asked. 1 month after the second phase ends. It gives you time to train. Iruka answered. After the end of this exam, we'll let the old man know. I know it's wrong to withhold information, but it would be suspicious and actually not normally allowed to leave the tower until dismissed, right? Naruto said. You're right. Make sure you don't forget. I'll see you guys around. Iruka said. I guess I'll work on my heat vision. What would you guys do for the rest of the days? Naruto asked. This last 2 tests were teamwork, so I assume the last one will be one-on-one to see our individual skill. If you have time, will you spar with us to give us an idea of facing off against a faster opponent? Sasuke said as Ino nodded. 4 days later. The wait was finally over and now Team 7 stood in a room with 6 other teams. The other 2 rookie team, the year-older team with last year's Rookie of the Year, Kabuto's team, the team from Sound and the team from Sand. This further Team 7's belief that Team Sound and Sand were probably better than they needed to be to enter these exams. They were the only team sent and they managed to pass 2 of the 3 tests so far, whereas Konoha, who had the majority, is left with only 5 teams, 4 of which are rookies. Something was clearly going on. The proctor for the second exam, actually appearing sane and in control, explained that the people here passed the second phase. She also introduced the third Hokage, who explained the true purpose of the new version of the Chunin exams, which was to promote peace. Before he could continue further, a sickly Jounin appeared. Lord Hokage, will you allow me, H. Echo, proctor of the third phase of the Chunin exams, continue with the explanations? A male Jounin said as he appeared before the Hokage. Go ahead. The third Hokage allowed. My name is H. Echo, and I'm the proctor for the third phase of the exams, but before we can get into that we need to hold a preliminary round. As Lord Hokage said, there are important people coming to see the third phase, but we have limited time with them. That being said, there are simply too many of you to fit into that time frame. We will hold a preliminary round to cut this number in half. You will be paired off in one-on-one competition where the winner will continue to the third phase and the loser is disqualified. If there is any of you who can't continue to compete, please forfeit now. Also remember that your forfeit will not affect your team, since from here on out everything is individual. Hayate said. No one stepped forward, so a screen appeared behind. This screen will randomly select the fighters. If you're chosen to fight, remain down here, while everyone else is to move up to the viewing area. Hayate said with a few coughs. The screen started its process and ended on Sasuke Uchiha and Yoroi Akato, Kabuto's teammate. Begin. Hayate said after everyone moved out of the way and he jumped back. The fight immediately started with the two charging at each other. Sasuke was placed on the defensive by dodging Yoroi's attempts to grab him. I wonder what he plans to do if he gets a hold of me. I'll allow him to grab me, but just in case it isn't good for me, I'll substitute with this kunai, Sasuke thought as he pulled out a kunai and purposely missed his close-range toss. If you're gonna use one of those things, you better be ready to use it right. Yoroi taunted as he finally got a hold of Sasuke's arm. I feel like I'm getting weaker, no, he's draining my chakra. I wonder if that's all he can do. It doesn't matter, I won't wait to find out, Sasuke thought. Catching on yet? Yoroi asked. Yeah, you're nothing but a thief. Sasuke said as he snatched his arm back and disappeared from Yoroi's sight. Where did he go? Yoroi asked in shock. His grip was tight. This kid was supposed to be weak from his battle with Lord Orochimaru, the curse seal itself, and then the battle with those weaklings. He shouldn't have been able to pull away, Yoroi thought. Below you. Sasuke said before he kicked Yoroi high in the air and then appeared behind him at the height of his ascent. Dancing leaf shadow. That was kinda borrowed, but the rest is all original. Sasuke placed his hand on Yoroi's back to push for momentum to throw his left leg at Yoroi, who blocked it. Sasuke smirked because it was expected. Quickly flipping his body over, Sasuke slammed his left arm into Yoroi's unguarded chest. This caused him to fall towards the ground head first. Sasuke followed up with a right-handed body blow to increase Yoroi's downward speed. Sasuke then finished with his left heel at the moment of Yoroi's body hitting the ground, increasing the pain filtering through Yoroi's body. The buildup of pain caused Yoroi to cough up blood and fall unconscious. Upon landing, Sasuke rolled backwards onto his hands and backflipped back to his feet. Lights out, Lion's Barrage. Sasuke said simply. Lion's Barrage was the name of the technique and lights out is the expected result. Yoroi Akato is unconscious, Sasuke Uchiha is the winner and moves on to the next phase. Sasuke walked back up to his teammates with a smile. Good job, Sasuke. Kakashi said. What happened when he grabbed your arm and what was up with that kunai? Ino asked. I could tell he really wanted to grab me, so I threw the kunai away as a backup plan in case I couldn't free myself from whatever he was planning. When he grabbed my arm, I felt weaker, but it only took me a moment to realize that he was absorbing my chakra. Most likely adding it to his own supply. I snatched my arm free and decided to end it with a Lion's Barrage. For a moment, I wanted to use the Falcon Drop, but he's a Konoha shinobi, and that would have been wrong to kill or injure so severely a comrade. Sasuke said. Good call, you show off. Naruto said as he smiled. Next fight. Kakashi said as he got their attention back to the screen, which now said Shino Aburame and Zaku Apumi. 2 fights later. Shino had defeated Zaku by blocking the holes in his arms with his bugs. The chakra buildup caused his arms explode. The medic nins tried to save him, but he died from blood loss. The next fight was Kankuro of the desert against Misumi Tsurugi. Kankuro, or the Kankuro that walked onto the field, was actually his puppet that he was controlling from the disguise on the puppet's back. Misumi was the boneless guy that used this advantage to wrap his limbs around Kankuro and threatened to snap his neck if he didn't surrender. Kankuro denied and the puppet's neck was snapped. Before Misumi could release the boy, Kankuro made it known that Misumi was wrapped around a puppet instead. Crow, Kankuro's puppet, squeezed the life out of Misumi and inadvertently crushed the older genin's bones. The next fight was Sakura Haruno vs Ino Yamanaka. This should be fun. Ino said. Don't hurt her too badly. Naruto said. He wasn't making fun of Sakura, he was just confident in his teammate. The two former best friends walked side by side down the stairs. Be ready to lose, pig. Sakura taunted. The thought never crossed my mind, forehead. Ino replied coolly. Begin. Hayate said as he jumped back. The two former friends started the match by throwing a kunai at each other that clashed before the two charged each other with kunai. They clashed and struggled for dominance. I see you haven't been training as much as me. Ino said as she forced Sakura back. Sakura was physically stronger than Ino before team placements, but now Ino was stronger. Sakura made no return comment, but in the blink of an eye, Ino's other hand was holding her kunai blade behind her back, blocking Sakura's behind the back attack. How did you know I was there? Sakura asked. Sensei is good with ninjutsu too and has trained us to be able to detect and dispel genin-level genjutsu. Even fight without dispelling it to throw off your opponent. Ino said as she opened a pouch on her hip and created 2 water clones that charged at Sakura, who jumped backward after Ino opened the pouch. Ino, herself, was performing hand signs. The water clone? Sakura asked in shock, before getting a hold of herself and attacking the clones before they could, but she didn't know that was part of Ino's plan. When the clones were slashed and turned to water, Ino appeared behind Sakura on her last hand sign. Water-style water prison jutsu. Ino said as she used her clone's water to form the jutsu around Sakura. Sakura would have responded, but she feared drowning if she let loose the last of the air she had in her mouth before the jutsu formed, which wasn't much. Forfeit or drown? Ino said. Sakura Haruno, do you forfeit? Hayate asked. He was certain Sakura wouldn't speak if the look of fear on her face was anything to go by. Sakura nodded her head in defeat. Sakura Haruno has forfeited, Ino Yamanaka is the winner. What if Naruto Kryptonian bloodline Naruto x Supergirl end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.